she goes, hey, we're to the point where we either need to grow or we need to get out.
Okay.
And at that time, I think it was really when we took the next step and kind of went from we were making a good living to making a little better living.
Yeah.
But it was tougher because there was, when you go bigger, you run into more hiring issues and more problems that you have to solve because like any business, if you go from doing 100 jobs a year to doing now 200 jobs a year, you have basically twice as many problems that you're going to have to solve, and that's where we ended up hiring more of a couple full-time people to help us out.
Yeah. That 2008 to, 2010, you said you kind of feel like is when things really picked up. I know looking back at the financials, I think things hit their kind of peak of like absolute craziness with the most top line revenue and the most jobs that were performed in the year in 2013. What were those couple of years like?
To be quite honest, we were fortunate we had each other, and you guys were getting older, so it made it a little easier for us. But it was tough for us at that time because we were to a point where we were big enough to be where we needed more help, but we still didn't want to get it to the point where we were so big that we didn't have the flexibility to be able to do our stuff with the kids, and that's kind of really where we
attention
kind of put the business, and we kind of wanted to slow her down a little bit, still make good income, but we didn't want to go really to the next step, which the next step would have been totally getting away from where we were doing our business at, going to a bigger facility and hiring a lot more people. And we were to the point where I don't think we were really comfortable doing that because we wanted to still have our life with being able to take our kids to school, take them to the ball games, go to the ball games, do things of that nature.
Go to your cross-country meets.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I know. What was that? When did I start running? 2016, 2015?
Somewhere in there.
Yeah.
So I think that's really at 2013, we really were at a point of no return because do we go much bigger or do we kind of try to level it off a little bit? And at that time, we started leveling it off a little bit. On that, just more for our lives than anything.
Yeah, for sure. So you guys get to 2013, it gets really big, and it starts eating. It starts needing kind of that next level, that like more, and basically the tension between that is availability for family and kids, right, versus this big like possibility of growth outside of that. In your minds, how did you view the two? Did you see it as that way of like, oh, growth, or did you see it as like, oh no, I like this, if we went this direction, then we like, did you see the binary, I guess is what I'm asking. Like, did you see like, oh hey, we grow and we lose, like our ability to be more flexible with our kids, or did you see the more of like a who knows what's going to happen kind of thing?
Well, it's a hard question to answer because I feel like our business multiple times we didn't know what to do with it. When I was like, okay, can't do this anymore by myself. Do we give it up? Do we keep pushing? And then I remember 9 was once we got to 9 units, that was a big decision making for us because at that point we couldn't really manage it with both of us anymore. So then we had to decide to hire people. And then my thought was, and obviously I don't remember all the years exactly how things went down, but I do just remember being like, once we got more help, I was relieved because I was able to help you guys. And he was very active in trying to load everybody up in the morning, make sure they left with the right equipment. Last minute having to run to go get supplies that we didn't realize we were out of. Then we started having people to help us clean. So things got a little bit easier for us, which kind of opened up our schedule. But then, like he said, then we had to decide what's the next step. Do we start getting bigger units now so we can start doing bigger parties? And instead of doing small birthday parties, are we going to expand this to start making school carnivals and to start getting jobs that were $5,000 to $7,000, sometimes $10,000 per job? But that's a whole nother level of stress. And were we going to be able to hire enough people to do that? Because we couldn't do it on our own, for sure. And then we needed staffing sometimes for those carnivals. So we would be begging our kids to help us find friends who would be able to staff, but they had to be old enough because you can't have kids telling other kids what to do. And then we, so it just, that was a hard decision to go from, that was another step of a hard decision when we decided to really start investing in big units that were expensive. It wasn't just anymore that we could continue to put the money from the business into the business because we both now needed income and we had our mortgage and we had other things that money now had to be readjusted to. So then it was a decision of, do we get a loan so we can get these bigger units, and can we hire enough people, and do we have enough trailers, do we have enough trucks to get through? And I don't know at what point that happened. Maybe you can kind of share that time frame. I don't remember.
Yeah, well, between 2012 and 2015, we did get the bigger units, and we did go more employees, and we were doing more items, if you want to call it that. And then it just got to a point, like I said, 13 was just absolutely, in December of 2013 was kind of, everything was done, and we took a hard reflection and going, I don't know if we, and you got to look at us too, we are older. We started this business when we were older too. We started this business when we were in our 30s, and this inflatables are a little different than if you're doing engineering or you're doing something small. It's as you get older, and you're talking about some of the inflatables being close to 1,000 pounds, it gets physically tougher as you get older. It's a younger person's game. And so we were to the point of going, what do we need to do? And I think 13, we were like, hey, this was almost too crazy. So we backed it off in 14, but we still had the bigger units so we could do the carnivals, we could do that. And we hired the people that we could on that, and that were another form of business comes into play because it's kind of a catch-22. We can't hire full-time people because we don't have enough hours besides for a couple people. When we're staffing, all of a sudden we needed 12 to 15 people for staffing. It gets hard to hire and trust that many people to come out and that many people to show up at an event. So we ran into issues on scheduling, and I think that's some of it too, where we were trying to find that fine line in that part of it. And then, and we were getting older. It was getting to the point where we'd been in the business for almost 12 or 14 years, and at that time, and we were getting a little older, and we still had the kids, and we wanted to be able to do the kids too. So we were right in a flux around 2014, 2015, where we wanted to go, or if we wanted to continue the business, because it's a tough business on that.
Being in your 40s, picking up 100, unit or water slides out in 110 degree heat, it gets you pretty quick.
In mud, because they were water slides, and they were dirt lots sometimes, so we were trying to roll those up in mud and put them in a dolly in mud. So.
And if you had a corporate event, you had 10 or 12 of them to do.
And you had to pick them all up and probably get them out either to another event or to the next day.
Correct.
So,